The UCI rules are absolutely huge. They're an incredibly complex document, and when you think about cycling as a sport, it's very complex, very diverse, and has events of up to 3 weeks in length. So it is understandable that the rules to cover all these eventualities do need to be quite big. But some of the more obscure rules in there kind of rarely affect the riders in race situations, and when they do affect the riders in race situations, it is very newsworthy. So today we want to find out just how well the pro cycling peloton here at the Abu Dhabi Tour knows the UCI rules.
Wow. That's surely got to be a rule. UCI rule.
I spent a couple of hours going through all 200 pages yesterday, and I want to know whether you think this is or isn't a UCI rule.
Okay.
How about, let's start with, socks must not extend above the middle of the leg.
Yeah, there's a rule. I don't know if it's really like this. It's like, yeah, it has to do with the length of your lower leg, and it shouldn't go over the middle or something. Yeah, something like that. That's a rule, yeah.
What do you reckon the maximum number of riders who can start a race is?
220.
Pretty close, 200 apparently.
200? I thought the world's had over 200.
Maybe there's an exclusion for that.
Yeah,
Maybe
right.
I didn't get down that far.
Yeah, okay, right.
Riders must stay in the hotel provided by the organiser throughout the entire duration of the race.
Yeah, I guess that's the rule.
That was after the Richie Port thing a couple of years ago, right?
Yeah, because he wanted to stay in the mobile home on the parking lot. Yeah.
You can be fined up to 1,000 Swiss francs for theft of food or drink. True or false?
Wow. And it doesn't specify what the theft would be, like grocery store, another team.
It doesn't specify.
Yeah, sure. I'll go with yeah.
Yeah, it is. That's true, but I don't know the logistics of that. How you'd kind of hop off your bike, park it up outside the grocery store, run in.
Yeah. Well, I wonder if it comes kind of from the past where like the domestiques would actually like go into the convenience store and nick a few bottles of Coke or water and stuff them in their pockets. But I think back then the stores were into it. It was like an honor to have the riders, come in and steal your stuff. So I don't know.
Persons riding in team vehicles are not allowed to reach or lean out of the car. UCI rule or not?
UCI rule.
Correct. Sleeveless jerseys are forbidden.
That's not a rule.
That is a rule.
That's disappointing. That's disappointing.
Ankle socks are allowed in competition.
They're definitely allowed because there wasn't any fine in the world, and we've seen a few riders wearing them. And in time trials, I think you can't wear them in road racing.
Is sock length legislated by the UCI?
It is. Yeah, I reckon it should be too, because sometimes it's getting a bit too ridiculous. So I'm happy with that rule. But I don't know how high it is. I guess below the calf, isn't it, or something?
Yeah, it says the middle of the leg, which seems... I mean, the middle of my leg is my knee, but...
Yeah, okay. Yeah, right. I think it was to stop compression socks or something. But there's always a way around it. Just wear leg warmers.
The lending or exchanging of tubular tyres or bicycles and waiting for a rider who has been dropped or involved in an accident shall only be permitted amongst riders of the same team.
Yes, you cannot change a wheel or get a wheel from a rider of another team. I think there was some problem about it with Richie also, no? And an Australian rider, a good friend who gave him a wheel, and they got a fine or something, or a penalty.
Persons riding in team vehicles shall not reach out or lean out.
That's not a rule, because you see mechanics leaning out all the time. Or maybe they just go against the rules, I don't know.
That is a rule, apparently.
Oh, well, no one listens to it, obviously. That's not a very well-enforced rule, is it?
So, does this really exist in the UCI rules? The bicycle is a vehicle with two wheels of equal diameter.
Yes, it is. Because it was different many years before we had smaller front wheels. And since that, you have to have the equal wheels, front and back wheel.
Thanks, Bernie. It's like you could be a UCI commissaire.
Yeah, no, no way.
Does this one really exist? The bicycle is a vehicle with two wheels of equal diameter.
Yeah, it does. I know that because the first time trial I ever did, I had a bike that I borrowed from a friend who used to work for the national team. It was an old GT, and it had a 19-inch front wheel, and so it was a smaller diameter than the rear wheel. And then I went to use it the next weekend at my first time trial, and it found out it was not allowed. So I ended up doing it on the road bike.
Is this or is this not a UCI rule? Riders may not be sprayed from a vehicle.
I'm guessing it is a UCI rule, but I've never heard of it.
Okay, yeah, you're right on that one. Yeah. Ankle socks are also allowed in competition.
Yes.
You know that one from the track as well?
Well, I've raced with no socks, so it's the same thing, surely, isn't it? Ankle socks, no socks.
You've raced with no socks? Yeah. Was it a triathlon?
No, just track events. Brad started the trend, so I had to follow suit.
How much faster is it?
Oh, it doesn't make a difference at all. It was kind of just like a mind game we started playing with everyone.
So there we have it. The riders here at the Abu Dhabi Tour do in fact know the UCI rules, especially those that affect them in the race, pretty well. If you'd like to see some more GCN content, we have got a playlist full of videos from this race. That can be found right there. And to see a video on the unwritten rules of pro cycling with Matt Stevens, click down there. Finally, to subscribe to GCN, all you need to do is click on our logo. Give this video a thumbs up too.